Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is January 10th, 2020, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day out of the United States at 3:30 South African time, we have the most important number of the month, non-farm payroll, coming out. Now, this is a especially important month because it reflects last month's and the end of 2019, which we hope that we ended up with a positive note. Now, simultaneously, at the same time, out of Canada, we have an employment change number coming out as well. So just be aware of that number as well. Now, looking at the currency market, we saw the Aussie dollar bounce off of support. While looking at the indices, Dow Jones makes new historic highs after this jittery week with some of the political issues that happened in the Middle East with Iran. And looking at commodities on the back of the Dow Jones, gold retraces as the Dow Jones goes higher, while oil tapers off after the dust settles with Iran, as mentioned earlier. So that we're going to take a look at both of them. Now, looking at the stocks, what's taking us higher? The FANG stocks, the Apples, the Facebooks are taking us higher to new historic highs. But let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So we're taking a look here at the Aussie USD at a 4-hour chart. You can see down here, and pretty much we consolidated at this 66-ish level. Okay, so this might be a decent level for this to actually bounce at this area. Okay, so taking a look at this possibly today, and maybe if it retraces back to this support line, this may be an interesting place to actually pick it up. Altogether, okay, my focus should really be in commodities and the New York Stock Exchange. Now, looking at gold, all right, we're looking at a 4-hour chart, and you can see the volatility here. 1548, we're settling right here, bouncing off of this 1540 support, okay, previous resistance, subsequent support. If we break this today, 1541, then we should see it even go back down to the 1513-ish level. Okay, now we're going to jump into the Dow Jones just to compare the two. Okay, the Dow Jones hitting 29,000 right now. Okay, massive rally from the Dow Jones from the beginning of the week until now. We've rallied over 900 points. Okay, massive rally. We're expanding. The markets are expanding. You could see that nicely. So the next real resistance level, I don't know, okay? But your support level is somewhere at 28,830, okay? If this number with the NFP comes out, I don't think so. But if it does come out negative, you do want to know your parameters lower, okay? Now, looking back at oil, jumping back to commodities, we're trading at $59 a barrel, a massive retracement there. I think we're going to go back to trading between this 57 and 54. We haven't yet touched our trend line, okay, the upwards trend line that we've set up since the beginning of October. So we're still really there, okay, but I imagine that we'll be somewhere within this area, okay, trading within this particular area until we break either the trend line, okay, or break the resistance line at 61, okay. But for now, we're not breaking it, okay, we're just flatlining here after this massive news that came out, and the capitulation of this area, and now making some sort of correction to the markets. Now, looking at the stocks, this is really is very interesting. Looking at first Apple, trading at $308. Unbelievable. It just took off. When the market sold off earlier this week, Apple didn't budge. That's relative strength. That's a massive relative strength. And if it's going to 308, it's probably going to be going to 350. Okay, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next month, but at this pace, okay, this thing is going even higher and going much faster. Okay, really very important to understand this because they're pushing it as far as they can. Now, remember, we have lots of news coming out. We have China versus U.S. trade deal. We have primaries coming up next month. Who's going to be the Democratic front runner. So lots of news still coming out. So I expect this year to be volatile, okay? For those of you who didn't see my webinar about 2020, the outlook, I do expect the markets to be very volatile, and I do expect some sort of a correction here, okay, in some sort of form in the next month to 2 months, as we go into the election year, as we get closer to November. Now, looking at some of the other stocks, Facebook was the other one that really broke out higher. You could see at 217, and if it does continue this rally, we could hit 230-ish level, okay? This is a massive rally, and I mentioned this earlier this week, that it wasn't just a wick. It was actually a calendar that was making higher highs. So this does mean that it does have some bona fide buyers in the market looking to buy this. Okay, so for all intents and purposes, as long as this NFP number keeps on going up, okay, is positive, I expect this to keep on going up. Okay, so keep that in mind. Microsoft as well, hitting new all-time highs at 161. What's disconcerting is that the bank stocks are taking a little bit of a breather, 137 right now, and the Dow and the Bank of America also not making new highs. So the question is, okay, leading into next week, is this something that's going to play catch up to the rest of the market, or is this going to actually be the first one that's going to make the correction on the Dow Jones? That is yet to be seen. Okay, so but looking at the markets today, still very strong sentiment. I do believe we'll continue rallying in the Dow. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day and a beautiful weekend. Thank you.